And we're back with more Czeching Lions franchise mode. And in this one, let's go over the lines. We have Richie, Ben DeHaan, and ARONSON back together. And in the second line, you have Danielson, Hintz, and Rosehill. Third line, you have Nemesnikov, Frederick, and Janssen. And then fourth line, Wood, Bluger, and Krause. Defensively, you have Stillman and Larson. Gonna try to get Stillman that top 2 ice time this year because he didn't really grow at all in the top 4. So I'm gonna try the top 2. Bentley is on the top 4 as well with Shattenkirk, and then you have Foote and McCabe. Power play is looking a bit all over the place as well. You got ARONSON, Ben DeHaan, and Nemesnikov with Richie and Shattenkirk, and then Danielson, Hintz, and Rosehill with Janssen and Stillman. Penalty kill, you have Hintz, Wood, Stillman, and Larson, and then Frederick, Rosehill, Bentley, and McCabe. In goal, you have Demko and McCutcheon, who has made the roster, and then Bishop, Keith, and Palat are scratched. I'm going to trade Palat. He doesn't fit into the lineup anymore. That's really been the story of this rebuild so far, of seemingly guys not fitting into the lineup anymore and wanting too much money. This miniature rebuild has not gone the way I thought it would, to say the least, especially with the lack of growth that we had in the offseason. Certainly not going how I expected. So we're going to trade Palat. He has quite a bit of value, so we're going to trade him to Edmonton, I think, and they're willing to give him some picks, so we will definitely take a couple of those. We'll take their second and Philadelphia's third. So Palat for a second and a third. Proposed trade. Rejected, too far off. Okay. We'll try a second and a fourth. Proposed trade. There it is. And now I think we're going to hire a new defensive coach because we have seen absolutely no growth out of our defensemen. So we're going to hire Valtteri Filppula here, who is now actually a defenseman coach. And we're going to get rid of Baradziak because he, as we see, has a C- for teaching. So that might have played a role in the fact that Stillman didn't grow at all over the offseason, and same with Bentley. So, yeah, he can get out of here. And we are going to hire Filppula now. I'm telling you, this season's going to be huge. If we're still not a playoff contender by the time the trade deadline rolls around, we might just have to blow it up and try again, honestly, because this, between the player development being not great, actually not good at all, really. And as far as the draft goes, we haven't been able to draft any any elite playmakers or any defensemen outside of Stillman or Bentley, and we're not even sure if Bentley's going to be good. Not even sure if Stillman's going to be good. So this season is definitely going to be a big one, and hopefully, all I'm going to say is I just want to see some improvements out of the young guys, because if we don't see even that, then once again, we may have to end up just starting from scratch. Ralph Stillman with an MCL sprain until the end of November. It is only the end of October, so he's out for a month. This is not good. We have put ourselves in an early hole. 2-6-1. Oh my goodness. I mean, we're scoring goals like usual, but the issue comes with our defense or goaltending. 3.67 goals against. Power play is not even clicking anymore. 12.5, that's just great. Penalty kill is actually doing all right, 81%, but still. Rosehill and Ben DeHaan are doing very well, so that's at least good to see. A couple of our young guys really stepping it up. Richie with 9 points, Danielson with 8, Hintz with 7. Where is ARONSON? Oh, jeez. ARONSON, I cannot for the life of me figure out Devin ARONSON. It seems like he's either on in any particular season, or he's not. It doesn't seem like there's any in between with him. He has 0 power play points so far this season. And that makes sense given that the power play hasn't been great, but still. I can't figure this team out. I don't know what it is, but it is not working, whatever it is. And a goal, yeah, I think it might be time to start selling on Demko. He has not been good. Like I've said in seasons past, I don't know if it's our defense, I don't know if it's Demko himself, but that 882 save percentage cannot stand. That is just terrible. He was good for us in the first few years, but he recently has certainly taken a nosedive in terms of his save percentage. So we're done with November now, and I just have no idea what to make of this team. I really don't. We're 12-10-1 now. We're 8-2 in our last 10. We are second in the Atlantic Division. I have no idea what's going on. So I'm just gonna, I think, simulate another month and see if we can find some more consistency, because it's either been, we had a really good month last month, obviously, because we started really terribly with a 2-6-1, but now we're 12-10-1, so I don't know what's happening. We're just going to have to simulate another month and see what happens. I think that's the best we can do right now. Yeah, our defense and goaltending is just terrible. We're at the trade deadline now. 3.47 goals against per game. That is, I believe, second highest. Yeah, second highest in the division. I mean, we're still good at goal scoring. There's no doubt about that, but that's only gotten us so far. And the weird thing is, we're in a playoff spot. We're in a very weird position. Demko's been brutal. I gotta say, he's been brutal. And unfortunately, McCutcheon has not been much better. In fact, he's been worse. Okay, so here's what I'll say about our situation. If we don't make the playoffs again this year, which, I mean, we very well might, considering our record right now. But there's also a possibility we won't, considering how close the wildcard race is. So if we don't make the playoffs for a 30 in a row, then I think we might have to, honestly, commit to a full-blown rebuild, because the past 3 years have not gone as planned. They really haven't. Between Aronson not growing too much, Rosehill not getting much growth over the offseason, although it looks like he's growing now, so that's good. But Stillman didn't grow, Bentley didn't grow, the defense isn't exactly looking great, and then, not to mention, Demko has been very shaky this year, for the past couple of years, actually, and as has McCutcheon, so I'm not even sure if McCutcheon is going to be a part of our future either, just based off the performance that he's putting up right now. I mean, obviously, we'll give him more of a chance. He's only 22. It's his first season in the NHL. But as for Demko, I'm just saying it hasn't gone as planned at all. Between trading Duclair with him not wanting to re-sign and then wanting too much money, and then the same deal with Wenberg, the past 3 years have not been ideal. And honestly, I tried looking around for trades for Thatcher Demko at the trade deadline, but there's not even anybody who wants him. So I think we'll just ride out the rest of the season. We'll see what happens. If we make the playoffs, great. If not, then there will be some serious changes in the offseason. 2 games left in the season. We have still not clinched the playoffs. We are sitting at 90 points. Maple Leafs are at 88. There is still a chance that they could surpass us. With a win against the Boston Bruins, we are officially in the playoffs. So that was a struggle. I will admit, that was definitely a struggle. But we are in. So a wrap-up of the season stats. You have Roope Hintz leading the team in points this year with 83. Danielson with 72. Rosehill with 69. Ritchie with 69. Aronson with 32 goals this season. So another slow season for him. He's just been, it's on and off, and then on and off for him again. I mean, even in his off season, he's still a 30 goal scorer, so I suppose that's good, but still, would like to see more out of him on a more regular basis. Janssen with 53, Nemestikov with 51, Ben DeHaan with 50, so hopefully he grows a little bit over the offseason. Shattenkirk with 40, Stillman with 34, and what was his first season on the first defensive pair, so maybe we'll get some growth out of him this offseason, maybe not, I don't know, hopefully we do. Bentley with 18 points, so pretty good first season for an enforcer. And then in goal, yeah, Demko. I mean, he performs differently in the playoffs for sure, but I don't know how long we're going to be able to last, honestly, with how he's been performing this year. And we will be facing the New Jersey Devils in round number 1, who are 8-1-1 in the last 10. They're 54, 20, and 8 as well, so they probably have, they got Nico, they got Jack. It's going to be tough. I can already tell, and I haven't even looked at the lines yet, but I have a general idea of what they're about. Oh, right, they have Taylor Hall in this universe still, with Nico and Bratt, and then Hoffman, Hughes, and Holtz, Perron, Bokvist, and Palmieri, and then Pitlick, McLeod, and Kuokkanen. Not liking the look of this already. And then, yeah, of course, you got Murray and Jones, Tanev and Severson, and then John Moore's back in New Jersey as well, and then TVR. And in the goal, Matt Murray and Corey Crawford. And scratched are Dewar and Lievo. So, it might be pretty rough. I'm not going to lie. I mean, of course, I'm still hoping for the best. But just based off of our performances from the regular season, it might be rough. I'll end this on off here. And I'll see you guys in the next one when we start the Year 5 playoffs. See you guys then.